Yeah. Okay. Now we're good, right? Cool. Okay. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Flex AMA. Huzzah! Finally, the day has come. So let's welcome some folks. Let's welcome some folks from the Flex team who will be addressing all of your burning questions tonight about Everscale's long-anticipated decentralized exchange and on-chain limit order book, the Flex DEX. So I'm Joanne, your host, and from the Flex team, we've got Ilya, project director and Scrum lead, Sergey, product owner, Mikhail, Solidity developer, and Andrew, C++ developer. Hey guys, welcome. So Ilya, would you like to kick it off with a few words about Flex? And I understand you might also want to give a demo as well.
Okay, so first of all, I'm very happy to see everybody. I'd like to apologize to the community for not being in contact. You will hear from us much more from now on. You know, Flex is a child that had a difficult birth, and its first days and weeks and months were quite difficult as well. But, you know, we're here, and today is a great day because we are about to announce when we will go live. So right now we're finishing integration with one of the market makers. It's actually the second market maker. And we're going to have a soft launch with the market maker tomorrow. And based on that, we will advertise the go live date. Of course, I want to ask you to share the great news with all your friends on all social channels. I also would like to welcome community members that would like to contribute, community members with great programming skills, of course, that know our ecosystem to contribute. If whoever wants to work for tokens, that's what we can offer at the moment. We were ready to consider you. As you know, other projects have great experience with that. For example, Mango Markets on Solana. They have great experience with that. So we're going to launch with 6 pairs initially. And I'm going to just name the pairs. So it will be wrapped Ether versus Ever, wrapped BTC versus Ever, Ever USDT, Ever USDC, and USDC, USDT, and Ever DAI as well. So Breach and Cube tokens will be next to launch. There will be another 4 pairs with Breach and Cube tokens later on. As I said, we will advertise the exact go live date. Basically tomorrow we will know more or less. And I'm ready to answer any questions that you may have. We actually have some from the community, right, John?
Yeah, do you want to dive into the questions now?
Sure.
Okay. By the way, this morning I discovered something. I know that, you know, you're kind of secretive with your investors. You don't want to give names or anything like that, but I figured out who one of your private investors is, and I found him this morning. It's pretty cool. So can I show you? Can I show my screen?
Sure.
I took a picture. Yeah. All right. So he's going real hard on Flex these days. So do you see him? His name's Alfred.
Yeah,
yeah,
so
I saw
this guy.
trading.
This guy secretly has been trading and making millions. The DevNet. Yeah.
Gee, I got to take it down though before it gets doxxed. But yeah, even he can use it, so that says something. So, all right. So shall I move on to questions from the community?
Sure.
Okay, grab your coffee, everybody, because we got a lot. So the first question, what are the differences between Flex and other traditional DEXs built on other blockchain networks?
So as you know, most layer ones are very slow, and it's practically impossible to build a DEX with an order book on any of this. Various attempts have been made with all kinds of off-chain order books, but you know, like most of you probably know 1inch, for example. 1inch has an order book, but you cannot use it. This is due to limitations of the technology itself, the layer one itself. So, as you know, Everscale doesn't suffer from these problems, and this allowed us to build this unique product. And we're aiming to be the best DEX in the world in terms of throughput. Throughput is you know, the main feature of Everscale, as you know. So it's not so much the speed of individual transaction, you know, as the amount of transactions that you can process. So, so this is the main difference. Actually, you know, AMM pools were invented to overcome. It's not the only reason why AMM pools were invented, but they were one of the reasons that they were invented is to overcome this limitation. And of course, you know, we have various problems with AMM pools. Impermanent loss, slippage, and so on, which we don't have with order book based DEX. Just want to say also about the potential of the DEX market. I want to say a few words. So today, only 2.6% of all the volume is done on DEXs. Centralized exchanges still hold the vast majority market share. And the reason is that traders would like to use all the algorithms that they've developed. You know, they've developed them for order books, and they want to keep trading with order books. So this is one of the reasons, and you know, it just shows the potential of this market.
Okay. That's a good, thorough answer. So it's known that Flex plans to issue its tokens. What functionality is expected for them, and what will be the emission of the token?
So as with most DEXs, we will have our governance token, FLX. Its feature will be to vote for various proposals. Flex will be governed by DAO. DAO will be launched sometime early next year. And actually, in order to vote, you will have to stake it. And the longer you stake it, the more fees you will get. So Flex is going to share with the users most of its fees. For the first year, it will be 80% of fees will be returned back to Flex governance tokens, and next year it will go down to 60%. But you can look at our tokenomics about the emission. You know, it's much easier to see. You know, it's in a graphical format.
Okay, that's a really nice incentive. What are the plans for the Flex token sale? Like, will it be on Everstart or another launchpad?
So the plan right now, we're closing first private round. We will have another private round, and after that we will have an IDO on Everstart, and later on we will have another IDO on another platform. So the goal is, you know, IDO is a good way to acquire users. So the goal is to acquire as many users as possible, and yeah, there will be an IDO, and yeah.
Okay, great. So could you tell us how many users are expected to download Flex before the end of the year? Do you have any sort of idea there?
I wish I was a psychic, but I'm not. We're working very hard on acquiring as many users as possible. I just want to say that our focus, I'm coming from traditional, I have traditional business background, and I managed money, I've invested in various startups, and my approach is always, the focus is on making money. So we're focusing on the large institutional players and institutional type of use cases for Flex, because we see this as a fastest way to get volume, and volume will translate into fees for our governance tokens holders. So retail users are very important for us, and there will be a significant marketing effort as well. But as far as the exact numbers, I cannot tell, but I hope a lot.
Okay, great. So what did you not have time to do by the time Flex was released?
So, based on a beta version, we had a lot of feedback that, it's not the most user-friendly. And we had like internal debate, should we release this version or not? And we've decided to release it. It's actually not that bad right now. It's very easy to use, especially when you log in the second time, and you get to the GUI very quickly. And we wished that we had a web version with extension, like most DEXs operate. And this is actually, we didn't have time to do it yet, but I can promise you our next version will have Surf as an extension. It will be web-based, and there will be a MetaMask, and there will be an Octos bridge under the hood as well.
Okay, great. Would you be able to dive a bit more into your plans for by the end of the year?
So basically, what I just mentioned, you will be also able to buy Evers with the widget. The phase 2 formal verification will be completed. By the way, I'll give you, I'll share with you honest feedback from Provenda that did the formal verification phase 1. Mm-hmm. They said that the code is very high quality. They have not seen a lot of code at such quality. And we're generally very happy with the review. They found just few minor things that are already fixed.
That's fantastic. So it's widely known that the reason for the delay in the release of Flex is the addition of derivatives. What derivatives are we talking about?
So the reason, it has, first of all, has nothing to do with derivatives. Derivatives are coming next year. There will be perpetual futures. There will be also marginal trading. We will share the exact derivative plans later on. We are working on it right now.
Okay, very interesting. So do you have any plans to work with NFTs?
Not right now, no.
Okay. What are the conditions for listing tokens on Flex?
So tokens need to be approved by DAO voting, and we would also need to have liquidity provided by the issuer of the token. So, with order book based DEX, you also need liquidity, not in the form of AMM pool, but we need to provide liquidity to the market maker. Otherwise, it's just pointless to list the token.
Right, absolutely. So will there be Flatcube whitelisted tokens on Flex?
Yes.
Cool. So another question from the community is, in the fall, Mitya Gorshevsky said that the mechanics of adding tokens eliminates intermittent losses while providing liquidity. Is this so?
So I think he was talking about impermanent loss. So there is no impermanent loss. There is no slippage, as I already mentioned with the order book. And just want to emphasize that we don't have AMM pools. And we may decide sometime in the future to add them, but as of right now, we don't have AMM pools. We want to be like centralized exchange in terms of having just the order book, but of course we're a DEX. So, but we're very similar to centralized exchange. It's just much easier. And by the way, for those of you that don't know, I don't think there are a lot of people in the community that don't know this, but for centralized exchange, you're basically taking a huge risk of exchange hack. You basically trust your crypto, you basically trust the exchange with your crypto, and with the DEX, all the trading happens wallet to wallet, and there is no such risk.
Absolutely. So this one kind of fits into that. Any plans to tie work to Flex via Ledger?
Not right now. But if we would want to do this, we could look into this. I mean, it's technologically it's possible, but we need to work with Ledger on that. And like it's a different blockchain, as you know. So. But no immediate plans. Right now we have more important things to do.
Right. Do you have plans to work with KWPC?
Yes, we do. Mm-hmm. Yes, we do. We hope that KWPC will deliver on its promises. We have good communication with Mitya Gorshevsky and KWPC team. And everything that brings new projects to the ecosystem, we fully support it.
Great. So are you planning any special interactions with the Eversurf team or Eversurf?
We already have a special interaction with Eversurf team.
And Anne's here.
Yeah, we work with them. They're working on extension, surf extension. So yeah. By the way, I'd like to mention, since Mitya Gorshevsky was brought up, I'd like to thank Mitya for his contribution to Flex. It was difficult to lobby internally. From what I know, this project had quite a difficult fate, and Mitya was pushing forward, and I'd like to thank him, and I hope that he's watching. So, and we hope to work with KWPC and other projects that Mitya is involved with. So, actually, as you know, they're launching their own front on top of Flex. But we just want to make it clear to the community that all the fronts on top of Flex will be sharing the same order book. It's a very important point.
Yeah, definitely. Nice. So if any modification is needed to implement on Flex, which party or entity will be responsible?
So this is a good question. As you know, originally Flex was developed by EverX Labs, but now it's an independent project, fully independent with its own team. The distinguished members of which you see here on this call, and we will be doing it all internally. We do use, we get some support from EverX on the cloud side, but other than that, we're fully independent.
Nice. So where will Flex fill liquidity from?
So we have liquidity provider, which is actually one of our investors. He believes in the project so much that he's willing to give us liquidity. Typically, there is a market maker and liquidity provider, and these are two separate entities. And by the way, at launch, there will be significant liquidity. You'll see pretty dense order book with a lot of liquidity. So please come and try it. We've discussed this internally. There is no point to launch something that wouldn't have enough liquidity.
Okay, so the next question is from a user who seems to have tried out the desktop app, I guess, but needs some clarity. So the mechanics are not entirely clear. For example, I create a contract for the sale of X tokens at Y price. It didn't work, for example, but it locked up the tokens. So yeah, I think that's the question.
Sergey, do you want to answer this one?
Basically, if you place an order to the order book, its default expire time is 1 week. Currently, it is a configurable period, but for orders placed through our GUI, it's 1 week. In 1 week time, it will be excluded from the queue in the order book, and you can cancel it for a small fee, 0.1 ever. You can cancel an active order as well anytime, but it will cost you a bit more. It will be a fee of processing the queue, 0.4 ever, and plus cancellation fee, 0.1. All the fees, by the way, are explained in the official documentation of Flex on docs.flexdex.fi.
By the way, I'd like to, I saw a question from the community, and I think it's very important. I just want to answer it in advance before we meet, in case, so we don't miss it. It's important to understand that when all the work that is being done right now on the consensus, on Everscale consensus is completed, and REMP is implemented, Flex will become significantly faster. Just please keep this in mind that the current version is not even close to showing full capabilities of Flex. It will get much faster, and we have also additional leverage to make it even faster, some configurable parameters. So yeah, that's very important to keep in mind.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I hope that cleared it up. Next question. So a user had sent the Flex team a request for access, and they were met with silence. So they would like to know, is this project progressing?
Yes, as you can see, it's progressing. We are going to be in touch regularly from now on. The reason we've been silent is because I personally, that has to do with me, I personally don't like to advertise anything that I cannot deliver. And I was insisting that we won't have this AMA until we can state the date. And, the software is never easy, as you can see with Ethereum, which cannot deliver and will never deliver what they promised. And so I don't like, like Vitalik Buterin to say it was something for 4 years, we're going to do this and it's going to be soon and so on. So this is totally my fault. So right now, and in chat, actually, I think in Telegram group, it's quite active group, and you could always ask a question, and you will get an answer.
Great.
Yeah, it's better to address questions in the Telegram chats and groups.
I would use, I would compare it to a high-speed train, right? You need to build the rails. It's a complex technology, and it takes a long time. But then, the train will just fly, with not with the speed of light, but with very high speed. So this is. The market makers that we talk to, they say that building software is it's similar to construction. Construction never goes smooth. You need to have the foundation, you need to have all the materials in place, planning, and so on. And so this is the reason it takes so long. It's difficult to understand from the outside. By the way, I used to write code myself in the beginning of my career, so I know this very well.
Fantastic. So another community member says, Flex is very interesting. Does this thing have an API?
Yes, it does have an API. It's our two market makers used this API to integrate with it. It's documented, and the documentation is on the website, flexdex.fi. Please check it out. And you're welcome to contact us, and we will help you. We actually encourage, anybody, any team, any project that want to interact with us to build something on top of Flex, please get in touch. We will be happy to help you.
Great. Just jump into the chats. So this next one is a very interesting question. Tell us about the opportunity to provide liquidity from users. What are the conditions?
So as of today, a maker order gets a fee basically from Flex. It's 0.03%, and if you just place in maker orders, you're already making money by doing that. If you want to provide liquidity in significant amounts, let's say anything from $100,000 or more, contact us directly. You can also make money, significant money, especially in the early, at this early stage. You can make significant money and get paid. By the way, maybe FLX tokens. We can discuss it. So the answer is yes.
Great. So did you find market makers? I remember that Alex Filtov told that they need derivative tools to perform proper market making.
Yes, we do have integration with two market makers. We couldn't launch with the first one because we didn't have a liquidity provider for this particular market maker. But we have. By the way, it's I think I can name the company. It's called Hero Trading. We really like these guys. These guys have a lot of experience, and we have very good communication with them. And I actually hope for very good partnership, going beyond just way beyond just market making. But the answer is yes. You need to hedge, your positions. Market making is quite complex, and you need to use derivatives to hedge your positions in order not to lose capital. So it's whoever asked the question is correct on this one.
Okay. So tagging on to that, another question is, if I understand correctly, you plan to deploy a set of smart contracts which will automatically trade on the market and earn market makers profit. Is it correct? And have you tested somewhere this market maker strategy if they are profitable? And how can the community participate in this activity? Just by Flex token, for example?
So we don't have any internal market making. I think it would be improper to do it ourselves. It's just incorrect behavior, right? Market makers need to be outside parties. But as I mentioned before, basically, when you trade on Flex, you do market making anyway, right? So just the best way to participate is to trade. You're welcome with all your algorithms, and when something is that new, you have good opportunities to profit from it. So please study our API, and you can do whatever you like. It's for you to trade on.
Okay. So I know you touched on this a bit earlier, but maybe you want to dive a bit more into this. Will you wait REMP? Will you wait REMP before launch of the Flex? I believe that without REMP, users' experience could be ruined and people won't come back.
So I just answered this question before. Maybe I can go into more detail here. What is REMP? REMP is reliable. The keyword here is reliable. It's a reliable external message protocol. Today, so the way it works, you get an external message, then a smart contract sends an internal message. This is actually how trades work internally. And without REMP, this process just takes longer. And when you have reliable message transport, right? It's just faster, right? And I'm not going to bore you with details about Flex internals, but like I said, Flex is capable of much more than you will see in the first version, and it has to do with consensus as well. We need to be Everscale needs to be able to work with multiple work chains. The scalability that is advertised, it needs to be there, and it will be there very soon. And this is when, in order for us to match performance of centralized exchanges, we need many work chains, let's say 15 work chains. So yeah, but I don't think the community would have been happy if we waited longer to launch Flex, and now we can kind of battle test it, right, and make sure everything works, and then when all the work with consensus is completed, it's just going to be faster. So I think we've made a right decision. Yeah. And by the way, the trading experience is it's pretty good. Like whoever used Flex, I think they like the trading experience. I tried it myself, and I like it.
Yeah, definitely. It's really fast. And I couldn't even get Alfred off the computer before. It's like, man, you got to get off. So next one is kind of a philosophical question. What is the real market? Order book-based Flex or liquidity pool-based flat cube? I believe that the presence of Wever USDT pool lets people easily sell Ever coins, which constantly make a selling pressure to make the Ever price. Maybe if we liquidate Wever USDT pool and make order book trading Ever USDT as a main price benchmark. It will help to increase Ever price. What do you think?
So this is a kind of, I would say incorrect question, because actually the value of an asset depends on the asset performance. Like if you compare it to the stock, let's say Amazon stock, right? Amazon trades where it is because of the successful company that generates significant cash flows, and this is what investors buy, right? If you use AMM pool or order book, you cannot really impact the price a lot, right? The main thing is what is the underlying asset. So yeah.
Okay, good answer. So how can I add my token to Flex?
Sorry, can you repeat?
How can I add my token to Flex?
You would need to contact us to do this.
Okay. Jump into the chat and start getting involved too. So is Flex open sourced?
It is, yes. It has to be. It's a DEX. We need to follow the rules of the game.
Right. There are some more questions coming in. Do you have a plan how to attract traders to the platform? Throughput possibility is nonsense without big amount of traders.
So we have a very comprehensive plan, but I just want to mention that we need to get to the next version with MetaMask and Surf extension, because we would like, and also we would like to for Flex to be well tested right before, because if you spend money attracting users, you need to be sure that they will love the product and everything works well. So we have these plans, but we will push gas on it a little bit later, after we deliver the next version. And we have like our internal documents, everything is like written down, the strategy, the business development strategy, and marketing strategy as well.
Okay, great. So we have two more questions. Tokens on Flex correspond to TIP-3.1 and TIP-3.2 interfaces or not?
Sergey, would you like to answer?
I was gonna.
I feel bad doing
on
all
Flex. Sorry, tokens on Flex have their own interface. Interface is not TIP. I would say probably conform to TIP-3.1, but not TIP-3.2. So when you deposit a token to Flex, it just wrapped into internal tokens of Flex and trade it in the order book. And when you withdraw it from Flex, it just withdrawn to your usual TIP-3.2 tokens. So I'm not sure, and they can say more details about tokens of Flex.
Okay.
Andrew, could you add on tokens?
Sure. Ordinary token wallet can't trade because it doesn't have such functionality like make orders and lock tokens that will be added to order. And so we need to wrap external tokens into Flex version. With such abilities like locking and making orders. Well, that's it.
Okay, great. And so the last question, guys. Okay, so I'm trading on Binance and everything goes smoothly. Why should I move to Flex?
Well, a couple of reasons. First of all, Binance is still a centralized exchange, and you still carry all kinds of risks with Binance. I remember, for example, when Binance went down, during probably it was 2018. It was very scary. I was actually talking to CZ on WeChat, and surprisingly, he answered to me. So it was quite scary, and I had, just recently I had another experience with centralized exchange. I'm not gonna name it, but Ever is listed on one of this on this exchange, and I had to make a serious effort to get my Ether back from this exchange because of different reasons. Also, you're dealing with KYC AML, which is a significant obstacle right now for a lot of people. I want to, on this note, I want to mention another thing, that we're planning to have a kind of two front ends. One front end will be, I'd like to emphasize this, right? It will be for citizens of the countries where crypto is allowed. It's legal, and you could legally go and trade on the exchange. So this front will be like a typical DEX, no KYC AML, and there will be another front where there will be it's going to be a DEX with full KYC AML for those that want to use it, want to use this route, also for institutional players that for which it's important.
There you have it, everybody.
I could add it simply, you don't need to ask any permission. Just come and trade on Flex. Nobody else say you nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's it. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And thank you to the Flex team for your time and all the information, answering all of our questions. And to everybody out there who's watching, come and join the Flex chats, jump in, try it out, and help make this the best DEX ever.
Thank you, Joan. We had a plan to do a demo, but should we do a demo, or should we assume that the members of the community already had the opportunity to try Flex?
That's up to you guys. This is your time.
Okay, so let's just do a few trades, just to show the latest version of Flex live. So
great.
I'm going to share my screen.
So we're all getting a sneak peek right now. This is the desktop app, right?
Yes.
Cool.
So let me just, okay, so as you can see, this is the order book. It looks very nice. So whatever you see in red, these are sell orders, and these are buy orders. And I can just try to buy, for example, from the order book, something from here, for example. Remember to use a slider just to make sure. And we have two types of orders. Post order will actually make it a maker order. If you specifically want to make a maker order, use post. IUC means immediate or cancel. So the order will be executed immediately or canceled. If it can be executed partially, it will be executed partially and the rest will be canceled. So I'm choosing IUC. And as you can see, by the way, these are my assets. I have some Ever and some wrapped Ether, and I also have some gas here. So let's press, and what we will see, actually, the order got executed. It has been added to a trade history here. Yeah, I can do a sell order, but it's essentially the same. And what else we can say? As you can see, trading view is integrated. You know, it looks like you know, fully fledged exchange. We are actually very proud of it, the way it looks. You can also see recent trades here. It's kind of, you know, self-explanatory. Everything here is self-explanatory. If you want to see your funds, it's basically repeating what we have here. Yeah, you can press here. You can press deposit. You can withdraw. That's it. The help is here. And you know, to get here, I just want to emphasize it, right? To get here, I just entered my login and password. That's it. Only first time, you know, it takes a while, but you get the opportunity to play with deep bots, Everscale deep bots, which are a unique feature in Everscale. So it's kind of cool also.
Nice. So are you guys planning on recording and publishing like a step-by-step video guide so people can follow how you connect with Surf and how you make your first trades and so on?
Yes, we will do that. We will ask one of our advisors to do it, and he already agreed. And yeah, it's in the plans. You will see it.
Fantastic. So is that it? Is that it, guys? Yay. Great.
Yeah,
okay.
Thanks. I just want to remind that we already have a very good documentation with lots of screenshots explaining all the measure flows, authorization, deposit, withdraw, recovering gas. So everything is described.
Yeah.
And
if you press help, it automatically links right over to that, right? To the guide.
And John, please let us know how your dog is doing on the trading front. If you need some help, we're here to help.
I think he's good. He can use it. He's better than me, so he's all good. Cool. Thank you, guys. Thank you, community, for all your questions and your time, everybody. And that's it. And see you in the chats.
Thank you very much.
Good night, everybody.
See you.
Bye.